Hey all. It's been a while. I don't want to say about that really, although I've been writing furiously, I really lost the impetus and the inclination to share what I've been working on. Partly that's depression, yay, and partly that's a consequence of living in a post-T.S. Eliot world. While there were parts of that experience I treasure and I'm incredibly grateful for, there was a lot in the aftermath, especially that was fairly demoralizing, that left me very uncertain about poetry people, poetry community, and my place therein. That's why I've decided, one of the main reasons anyway, I've decided not to do a quote unquote big book this year, but to focus on different smaller self-contained projects that give me the opportunity to push myself to obsess over the fine detail of very specific niche things in a way that gives me life, and also to work with people I love, admire, and whom I know I can trust and who have my back. If you know, there is a frankly mahoosive MS, completed MS out there, but that one might take a wee while to emerge into the light. I'm still trying to figure things out and what my plan is for that book and how I want it to go into the world. So in the meantime, I thought I would make a few wee videos of some of these smaller projects I've been working on, starting with this video, which is going to be a reading from a pamphlet I'm doing with Culture Matters. These are poems about / channeling Mary Magdalene and the insurrection of Jesus. I'm only going to read here from the Mary Magdalene section. I'll probably do as many of these as, I feel you and I can collectively stand, and then I'll go away. My beloved, who is not history but memory, who is the staple and the haste of bread, matzah, the very grace of bread, azumos, most esteemed wheat, who is an austerity of bread, lentil and spelt, a coarse occasion of bread, my beloved, who dwells on the tongue and in the stomach, who is the bread of fellowship, the broken bread of haphazard banquet. My beloved is sweet as charoset, Sephardic fig, my love, the inviolate fig, the forsworn fig of moody excellence, who is seared into script, who stretches my senses. My beloved, who is the blemished and dissenting body, who is the beggarly artos of barley, the touch and thrust of barley, the frail pearls of hulled barley, my beloved, his limbs are golden sprays of millet, his hanging head is a heavy tassel of maize, my love is bread. My love is a date and honey galette, the scored loaf, the scarred palm, he is not myth, but memory incites and sates my hunger. My love, he is the prospheron of pardon, franked with the word, with the world. He is chicory, a meliot, Mara's thistle, sown inside my open mouth. Tower of fishes. The stink of subsistence all over them. Scene-haul sardines spread upon nets, seasoned in heat, they harden like the heads of ravished spears. The day seeps into me, as garum also seeps into the waiting baskets weekly. Little by little, the stone amphorae filling up with putrid, pungent percolations. Everything is fish, including me. Better the word should be burned than entrusted to. A fishwife, clenched fist cured in smoke, hefting her caul, mending her creel, the salt asserting itself in a cut, feculent vessel. The body is ripe for, the body is ripe, larded in sweat. I dreamt of fish, till a pier painted onto tomb walls brightly. I stooped beneath racks, I drew my blade through grey flesh as from a tarnished sheath, shucking the thin tract of gut with my thumb, the stink of it. We were despised, our only covenant was suffering. He called me daughter that day. The heart was a rinsed wound. There would be miracles stitched into mush. even my tears would run clear. 7 devils, or 7 evils, 7 errors, 7 fevers, 7 terrors, 7 wounds, 7 snakes, 7 falsehoods, sore mistakes, 7 failures, 7 fires, 7 torments, 7 pyres, 7 stakes, 7 faggots, 7 worms, 7 maggots, 7 knots, 7 crosses, 7 lusts, 7 losses, 7 bruises, 7 stitches, 7 pimps, 7 witches, 7 uncles, 7 foes, 7 cousins, 7 woes, 7 spectres, 7 priests, 7 cops, 7 beasts, 7 sins, 7 stains, 7 bosses, 7 men. Getting into my feels there. It's the 7 Devils reprise. It requires coffee. Afflictions or infirmities. Devils, sure, why not? Their squat Gothic ciphers, envoys of business ontology, slickly lolling bros, or how time itself had cracked and curved around my loss, a pain not bargained with or braced for, merely met, the hesped stale in my open mouth, the dust in my hair collecting dust, malady, misery, devils. Sure, sorrow had primed its subtle instrument, screw by sovereign screw. You were not there, his small shadow falling limply into your outstretched shadow. This is my oath, my moan, lodged in the overdue justice no one expects. So what is a woman to do? I am not ashamed, I am scorned, caught on the horns of debt and sex. The first devil is always the drudgefoot druid of shit despair. Sisters, we moved into the house of extravagant catastrophe, wearing red pyjamas and singing happy birthday. Why not? How devils are all I have to clothe and feed. They are excellent helpmeets, frenemies, hold my hair when I spew, egg me on when I drink. They have all the best gossip. It is all about me. Creeps of hanging crepe, they are realists, they say. You say that lights get in through a crack in consensus. Light gets in somehow, where hope and rage can coincide in riot, nowhere else. You speak of love and not of some possessor's empty flex, but oh, Rome feels like forever, the devils know. They have declared a permanent victory over the possible. That is what devils do. Dressed in the date-stamped jowls of realised design, they have made my body a cell of absolute unit of present time. The body will not be escaped or endured. Their future is false and already here. You talk of love, small words breaking through the luscivious fog. Devils, devils, they are corking their faculty plonk as we speak. They are dressing their wives in our fumigated skins and calling it a compliment. Devils have no substance. For them, life is anything projected onto the scrim of salary. They like fixtures, busy continuums, the law. They are gorged on the clamour for vagabond bogies, something to stick in their forked tongues out at women, whores. I am not woke, but I am in the wake, with a quango of devils on my back. Cast them out, the corporate aura they pass off as halo. Cast them out, why not? Give me a reason to fight, to believe, to live. Yeah. Anointing song. Call me Mary, profligate of perfumes, expending the ether of Asaron here in celebration's sumptuary glut. I spill my musk-root cinnamon calamus, sweet flags of incense sway. Orchard of choice fruits, call me slattern of lavender, crack in a flagon squandered spice. I came to him with amber oil, I poured it forth, the fortified chorus caught their breath. Hyssop is a heady stem, the wet and heavy must of nard filled up the house, tanning the lean rafters. Call me Mary, prodigal of orris as I knelt to anoint. Perfume is a language, has a music, yoke, lute, lyre, timbrel, shivering riff, the shofar's haughty melancholy. Call me Mary, whose speech is a skinful of flowers. Call me what you will, made a waste of their floribund lusts, my former life, this currency of cumin, saffron, oxos, thyme. But I know. The tang of those lanceolate leaves leaves a mark, murmured, my hair where it touched him shrunk and recoiled. Imposter rose of stone moss of Jericho, call me Mary, who sees the future. Mary, Mary, resurrection's weed. This is a wee bit different. This is Magdalene with Two Flames. It's after the painting by Georges de la Tour, painted in 1640. You can Google that if you so wish. Penitent. No wincing thing of disciplines and duties, nor pale repurposed punishments, restraints and chafing labours. There is no scourge of 7 cords, shift of sack, no shirt of hair. This body shall not stretch itself in Lenten hemp. I shall not be encircled, even pain has kilted up its sickles, its grim girdle of thorns. No cilice to shrink about my waist, my wrists are not resolved in wire, my scattered wits not shaved to fire. I will not play the spancelled scold, I will not play the cancelled whore. I could content with casting your pilloried writs in your teeth, would meet you upright in the slander of my skirts. I will not wear humiliation's hood, coxcomb's cowl, nor dunce's cap, coarse wool kirtle, capirot, not for you, who turned this body out of grace, who turned this body into an armada of soft rue. Penitent, no, not the way you twist the word. You are afraid of love, the limit and the excess of desire, but my soul sang in me when he spoke, and I will be reconciled. Oh, if only. Companion poem. When my beloved talked about love, he scraped the slur of their whore from me with the raw edge of his patience. Love has not made you clean, he said. No one who loves is filthy. His talk was strange to me, a lush disorder of metaphor, rhapsodies of vine and briar, his parables and allegories of vellum-heavy petals wildly prospering wheat. Love was mustard's meagre seed, small but densely spreading, flourishing under the shade. You will not wear the weight of sin, love does not consecrate to shame. I would have followed him anywhere. When my beloved talked about love, he meant the blossom, not the bloom. No dissipated bib of flowers. Love is the herald of manifold fruit. How I would question him closely. Divine commandment, gift of grace, unconditional commitment. He held my face in warm and dusty hands and blew the luminous breath of life into me. I could not tell his love from my gut-centered vertigo. Love is not just, he said. Love is justice, prepares and precedes justice, creates the conditions in which justice can grow. I did not know what he meant. An irrational aura of white heat round the heart was love to me. He told me it was so. How love enters as an indictment, scandal, unsought, disputed, painful. Love is that unlooked for thing that aggravates care, embrace in an age of unwelcome, an irritant in the eye of ownership, an open and collective means, not some dingily privatized end. Love does not end. His voice bent, but did not break. Full with passion, uncanny resolution, bending low. Basilia, within and amidst you. Love you will reap, and love you must sow. Which sounds nice, but it's probably quite tricky to actually pull off, I would imagine. Oleaceae. Try saying that when you've had a few. Oleaceae, the froth of anguished lace, wrapper, trammer. The mind will wrest the scent of them from sleep. Lilac, jasmine, the ash of Sabbath candles, olive in the lantern, olive in the balm, olive of divine provision, our chronicle of olives. The night his brows were bound by laurels of insomnia under the evergreen press of olive, a pale contortion of trees. He was kneeling in the seamless robe of arrest, cast off his ragged talith, bent barefoot between the feral oleasters, truant mallow of Chiron. He was watching. I shut my eyes, I tasted olive, bruised beyond bitterness, bursting black, cured by the caustic caresses of lie. Soon the torches, soon the swords, garden of warrants, garden of olives. The light will worry the fringe of my shawl, the light will harry the hem of my hope. Beloved betrayed by burning tapers, struck in the face by a snitch's kiss. He tilts in his pity, he hangs his head behind, and between us the olives cleave. Between and above us they split and they cling. Forced apart, drawn together, shut my eyes. There was a day of oil and wine, of fine fragrance smoked through. A day I brought him scammony, incision of the living root. Spikenard and black cardamom, valerian and vetiver, fennel, cumin, pennyroyal. Olive, it's the undersong, it's acid premonition. Beloved knows, it's always there, the resin in the posca, the silver in a wiry hair. Yeah. Consolations. After his friends had scattered like narrow birds to the cedar's ambivalent shade, once he was sold and disowned, informed against and fingered, arrested and arraigned after he had been twice tried, the courts conscripting and twisting his words, after they dragged him through tamarisk, through thickets of thistle that opened fresh wounds, after the mocking, the stoning, those skeleton hyperboles of power, after the eye abruptly blackened, once he was crowned, once he was scoured, after the sting of colicinth, after the lots they cast for his clothes, the breath of him stifled and stiffened, after the shrieks, after the crows, after the dead stink trapped between glum folds of failure, after they lowered him down to us by cables of decay. Once he slackened like a leather flask. Once his face became a witless, slipping mask. I heard him in my head. I am not giving up my life. Mary, I am giving it away. And my soul sang. Not mine, obviously. But not before the roar shock shook me. The rock rolled away the ambush of emptiness. We came to wash the insult of his suffering from him. We came to solemnize his body. We came with fragrant formularies to touch one last time the dark shoal of bruises moving under his skin. But the bare tomb before us, like a black gap in the smile of a new bride. I could not cry out. I felt the defeated leaf of my language die in my mouth. My tears leached into the earth. As if I were Tare, my cargo of salt. When he came, I did not know him. He was not returned. He was transformed, yet still himself. And he called me by name. And my soul started, carnival of wild alarm. He is here, not as my idol of affection, but the herald of our truth. They cannot win those loveless fucks who whist your grief. And thus my soul, and thus I sang, his fervent rebuke of flowers are impossible flowers. This is the last one because we're coming up in 20 minutes. It's a wee short one and it's called Regarding Nature. All of nature with its forms and creatures exists together, interwoven with each other. Tendrils flail, petals fall, a peal of silent bells, a small world turns upon this axis of abundance. Each purple flower, each thwarting thorn to yield or else to pierce, to quell its reliquary perfume. Small things all. The night aching with almonds, lilies, olives, dusk on the tongue, anise and pale anemone. Small things that call to care, swinebread, sow-bread, cyclamen. There is spiced and smoking flax enough to wrap the world, to wither or to quicken. Must all our dewy hymns succumb to dust? The flower is fleeting, but flowers return from forms and frailties infinite. Much yet to hope, much yet to learn. And that will be out in spring of next year, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Be seeing you guys later.